If you're a man over 60 and your mornings feel colder, physically and emotionally, this message is for you. If you wake up without that familiar rise, not just in your body, but in your sense of self, and quietly wonder, is this just how it is now? You need to hear what I'm about to say. Because the problem isn't age. It's that your blood flow, the very force that once powered your confidence, energy, and connection, is slowly fading without your permission. Not enough men are talking about this, but they should. Because what's slipping away isn't just intimacy, it's identity. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might change everything. I'm Dr. Mary Blake, a board-certified urologist with over 30 years of experience helping men over 60 restore what matters most, without drugs, without shame, and without chasing youth. I've seen firsthand what works when everything else has failed, and it's not what most doctors are telling you. Here's the truth: most men think their performance issues are due to low testosterone or just getting older. But what's really happening is a slow, silent breakdown in circulation, especially down there. And the fix? It's not in a pill bottle. It starts with a single teaspoon of the right oil, taken each morning on an empty stomach. When combined with 2 other simple habits, this ritual has helped my patients feel warmer, clearer, more alive, and yes, more like a man, often within just 10 to 14 days. In this video, I'll show you exactly what that oil is, how to take it properly, what most men get wrong, and the 3-move combo I've taught hundreds of patients to bring back not just performance, but purpose. Ignore this, and you risk slipping further away from the man you used to be. Watch until the end, and you'll see why so many men are quietly calling this the day everything turned around. Don't miss this, it could be the most important thing you hear this year. You think it's just age. You tell yourself, it's normal. I'm over 60, of course things slow down. But here's the truth, it's not normal. Not like this. You're not just slowing down, you're shutting down. Quietly. Slowly. And worst of all, without realizing it. Your drive isn't gone because you're older. It's fading because your blood isn't getting where it needs to go. And it's not just about sex, it's your spark, your edge, your fire. It's the part of you that used to wake up ready, clear, confident, now reduced to going through the motions. But stay with me, because it gets worse. You see, after 60, your blood vessels begin to stiffen. They lose their flexibility, their ability to open and flow freely. Your body stops producing enough nitric oxide, that vital molecule that tells your arteries, it's time to open up. And without that, blood can't reach the places that matter most. That means colder hands and feet. More naps. Less clarity. And yes, weaker erections. Slower response. Less desire. But even more than that, it means less connection. Less confidence in your own skin. And if you think that's bad, listen to this. Most men don't even notice until it's already taken something from them. Their posture changes. Their tone softens. They stop flirting. They stop trying. Not because they don't care, but because deep down, they think it's over. That this is just the cost of growing old. But it's not. And no one wants to say this, but you need to hear it, they lied to you. They told you losing function is normal. That it's selfish to want it back. That after a certain age, you should just be grateful for what still works. But they're wrong. You don't lose your manhood at 60. You lose it when you stop believing you deserve to feel like one. And here's what makes it worse, no one talks about this. Not your doctor. Not your friends. Not even your partner. You're supposed to just accept it. Suffer in silence. Swallow your pride. But what if I told you that silence is part of the problem? I remember a man named Alan. He was 69. Widowed. Retired. Still sharp, still kind. But when he sat across from me, his eyes didn't shine like they used to. I'm not in pain, he said, I just don't feel like I'm here. He wasn't sleeping well. He wasn't interested in touch. And when he looked in the mirror, he didn't recognize the man staring back. "It's like I'm disappearing," he whispered. I could see it wasn't about vanity. It was about identity. And sadly, he's not the only one. Too many good men are slipping away while the world tells them to be quiet. But not here. Not today. I'm not here to shame you, I'm here to show you what's really going on. And what you can do about it. Stay with me, we're not done yet. You need to hear what comes next. Because this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. Let's start with the ritual itself, because if you do just this one thing, consistently, it could quietly change everything. It's simple, natural, and completely overlooked by most doctors. I call it the morning flow ritual. And it begins with a single teaspoon. Every morning, before you eat, before your coffee, before you check your phone, go to the kitchen, take 1 teaspoon of extra virgin, cold-pressed olive oil. Not the cheap kind. Not the light version. You want the real deal, dark, rich, slightly bitter. That's how you know it's loaded with polyphenol, the compound your blood vessels are starving for. This one step may sound too simple to matter. But trust me, it's not. The first thing in the morning, your body is in its most absorbent state. The digestive system is clean, insulin is low, and your cells are ready to receive real signals. When you take that oil on an empty stomach, it goes to work almost immediately. It tells your arteries to relax. It tells your liver to wake up. It tells your circulation, let's go. Most men over 60 are walking around every morning in a state of mild depletion. Cold hands, slow thoughts, dry mornings, weak responses. They think it's aging. But it's not. It's blood flow. And when you give your body the right oil at the right time, you start turning that decline around, gently, but powerfully. Now, if you want to take it a step further, and I highly recommend you do, add a squeeze of lemon juice or just a pinch of black pepper to that teaspoon. Why? Because lemon helps your liver process fats and toxins, and pepper boosts absorption through your gut. It's like giving that oil a turbo boost. Just 1 twist of lemon or a light sprinkle is enough. No need to overdo it. I've had men say, "Dr. Blake, I was skeptical. But after a week, I felt warmer. More awake. Even my wife noticed something." That's not magic. That's science, and it's your body responding to something it's been missing for years. Now you might be thinking, that's it? Just oil? And the answer is, yes, but only if you do it consistently, and only if you use the right kind. We'll talk more about the details in the next section. But for now, just know this, 1 teaspoon every morning is the first message you send to your body that it's time to come back online. It's not a cure. It's a signal. And signals, when repeated, become habits. And habits, over time, rebuild your health from the inside out. Don't underestimate this. Many men do. And they miss their chance to feel like themselves again. But not you. You're here. You're listening. You're ready. Stay with me, because in the next section, you'll meet one of my patients who thought he was fading for good, until this ritual brought him back. Harold was 68 when he first walked into my office. Retired, thoughtful, soft-spoken. On paper, he was fine, no major illness, no big complaints. But when he sat down, I could see it in his eyes. Something had dimmed. "I don't feel sick," he said, "but I don't feel alive either." He wasn't talking about pain. He was talking about presence. He described his mornings like a fog. Waking up slow. No warmth, no spark. He avoided intimacy, not out of rejection, but embarrassment. "It's not that I don't want to," he whispered, "it's just, I don't feel like a man anymore." That hit me. Because it's what so many men over 60 feel but never say out loud. I asked him if he was open to trying something simple. Not a prescription. Not a therapy. Just a ritual. I explained the morning flow routine, 1 teaspoon of real olive oil each morning, before anything else. Add lemon or black pepper. Follow it with slow breathing. Move a little. Nothing extreme. Just signals to the body that it's time to come back online. He agreed. Quietly. No promises. But 3 weeks later, Harold called me, not to ask questions, but to share something. I woke up this morning, he said, and for the first time in a long time, I felt like I had somewhere to go, even if I didn't. He told me his hands felt warmer. His thoughts moved faster. And the moment that really shifted things? His wife looked at him that morning and said, "I've missed you." That wasn't a drug. That was blood flow. That was vitality returning. That was a man, coming back into himself, not just below the belt, but in his eyes, in his presence, in the way he walked across a room. Harold isn't a miracle. He's a reminder that your body hasn't forgotten how to respond. It's just waiting on you to send the right message. And when you do, consistently, it responds with more than you expect. And Harold's just the beginning. Because when you understand what's happening inside your body, it all starts to make sense. So stay with me, because in the next part, I'll show you exactly why this simple ritual works so well. The science might surprise you. Oh, you might be wondering, how can olive oil possibly do all this? The answer is simple, because it's not just food, it's fuel. And your blood vessels are starving for it. Let me explain. Inside every artery in your body, there's a thin lining called the endothelium. Think of it like the skin inside your blood vessels. When it's healthy, it releases something called nitric oxide, the molecule that tells your arteries to relax, open up, and let blood flow freely. But after 60, your endothelium starts to weaken. Years of stress, poor diet, and inflammation take their toll. Your body stops making enough nitric oxide. Blood flow slows. Your hands get colder. You feel tired earlier. And down there? Things get quieter. Most men don't realize that erectile function isn't just about testosterone. It's about circulation. And if blood can't get where it needs to go, desire alone won't make a difference. That's why pills don't work for everyone. They're not fixing the root. But here's where polyphenol-rich olive oil changes the game. Polyphenol are powerful plant compounds that restore the endothelium. They boost nitric oxide, reduce inflammation, and protect your arteries from further damage. It's like giving your inner highways a tune-up every single morning. One study out of Italy showed men who consumed this kind of oil daily had higher testosterone levels and better vascular health than those who didn't. Not because it's magical, but because it helps the body do what it already knows how to do: heal. And here's what most people miss: this isn't about flooding your body with something new. It's about removing what's blocking it from performing like it used to. When blood can move, you can move. When flow returns, so does energy. So does clarity. So does confidence. You were taught that aging means decline. But the truth is, your body's decline is often a result of neglect, not age. And once you start giving it the right inputs, the shift is real. Stay with me, because next, we'll add a few small practices that multiply this effect. If the oil is the spark, what comes next is the fire. Now that you've got the oil, let's talk about how to take things further. Because this ritual becomes even more powerful when you stack it with a few simple habits that signal your body it's time to heal, perform, and lead again. Start with your breath. Right after your oil, do the 4-2-6 breathing method. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale slowly for 6. Do this for just 2 to 3 minutes. What does it do? It switches your body from stress mode to recovery mode. It tells your nervous system, you're safe. You can open up now. Most men don't realize that stress keeps blood vessels tight. It lowers testosterone. It ruins sleep. And it slowly suffocates performance. But this breath is your way out, and it's free. Next, the power stance. It sounds silly, but it works. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Hands on hips. shoulders back. Deep breath. Hold it for 60 seconds. This simple pose lowers cortisol, boosts confidence, and helps recalibrate your hormones. You're reminding your body that you're in control. Finally, take a 10-minute walk outside, preferably in the morning sun. The daylight helps reset your circadian rhythm. It wakes up testosterone production. It warms your muscles and gets nitric oxide flowing. No heavy lifting. Just movement with purpose. One of my patients, Mark, 70, divorced, introverted, said, "I never thought walking would change anything. But after a week of doing it with the oil and breathing, I started to feel like I had rhythm again." These aren't workouts. They're daily signals. Gentle reminders that your body is still in the game. That you haven't faded. You've just been waiting for the right routine. And when these pieces come together, something shifts. You're not just trying to fix things. You're leading your body back to power. Stay with me, because the final story will show you what happens when a man fully commits. George was 72 when we met. A retired truck driver. Strong hands, but tired eyes. He sat across from me and said, "Doc, I don't want another pill. I want to feel like a man again." That sentence stayed with me. Because it wasn't about sex, it was about dignity. He had tried the pills. They gave him headaches, flushed his face, made him feel like a stranger in his own skin. What he wanted wasn't a quick fix. He wanted to believe that his body could still respond. That his fire hadn't gone out, just dimmed. We started slow. 1 teaspoon of the right oil every morning. No breakfast first. Then breath work. Power stance. A short walk. He did it quietly. Consistently. No drama. And after 1 month, he didn't just feel different, he looked it. His wife came in for a separate appointment and said, "Thank you for giving me my husband back." George stood a little taller that day. Smiled a little wider. And later, in private, he told me something I'll never forget. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like a burden in my marriage. That's what this is really about. Not chasing youth, but reclaiming presence, strength, warmth. George is not the exception. He's just a man who showed up every morning and followed through. And he's just one of many men who've turned things around by taking small steps with intention. You can do this too. And in the next part of this journey, I'll show you what happens when the heart and the mind catch up with the body. Don't go anywhere, because what comes next is about something deeper than blood flow. It's about identity. Let me say this clearly, you're not broken. You're not done. You haven't aged out of being a man. What you've lost isn't your function, it's your flow. Your rhythm. That quiet power that used to live in your chest, your voice, your body. It's still there. And the truth is, no pill can bring that back. But a daily commitment might. 1 teaspoon. 1 breath. 1 walk. These aren't just habits, they're promises. Signals to your body, I'm still here. I still care. I still believe in who I am. You're not chasing your 20s. You're reclaiming your presence at 60, 70, even 80. And that's more powerful than youth, because now, you've got wisdom, patience, and something to prove only to yourself. It's not too late. Not by a long shot. Stay with me, because in the final step, I'll show you exactly how to turn this into a real, simple plan that fits your life. One you can start tomorrow. One of the biggest mistakes men over 60 make is thinking, "I'm doing the ritual, why don't I feel different?" And 9 times out of 10, it's not that the ritual doesn't work. It's that you're doing it wrong. Not your fault, you were never taught how to do it right. They told you any olive oil is fine, that timing doesn't matter, that once in a while is enough. But the truth is, those little details? They're everything. You wouldn't take heart medication whenever. You wouldn't water a plant with motor oil. But stay with me, because you really need to hear this. Most men grab whatever bottle's cheapest at the store. Light olive oil. Refined. Labeled pure, which is actually the opposite of what you need. They take it after breakfast, or worse, after coffee. Their gut's already busy, and the oil gets lost. Some skip days. Some stop after 1 week because they don't feel a miracle. But that's not how the body works. Healing needs rhythm, not randomness. And if you think that's bad, there's more you need to know. Olive oil only works if it contains polyphenol, the natural compounds that signal your arteries to open, your hormones to balance, your cells to absorb. Cheap oils are stripped of these. Worse, refined oils can cause inflammation, the exact thing we're trying to fix. If you're using the wrong oil, at the wrong time, in the wrong way, you're not just wasting time. You're teaching your body that it can't trust you. Most men don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. They give up. They assume nothing works. They fall back on silence, shame, or worse, on pills that make them feel like strangers in their own body. But here's what no one wants to say, and you need to hear it: this isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility now. No one taught you how to reclaim your circulation. No one told you blood flow fades not from age, but from neglect. And no one told you the oil must be taken first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, every single day. I'm here to tell you the truth. Because this is too important to keep silent about. You might feel embarrassed. Maybe even frustrated. You've tried. You've hoped. You've been disappointed. But listen to me, you're not broken. You're not too late. You just didn't have the right steps. Until now. Stay with me, I'm going to help you change this. Because when you do the ritual right, consistently, something opens up again. Not just in your arteries, but in your sense of self. And that's just the beginning. In the next part, we'll talk about the exact plan, how to turn this into a rhythm that fits your life, your age, and your purpose. You need to hear what comes next. Knowing what to do is not the same as doing it. And without a plan, even the best knowledge becomes just another forgotten tip. That's why this part matters most. It's where we turn science into a daily rhythm. Something real. Something you can actually follow. Something that works not just today, but every day. But let's make this real. Here's the exact routine I give my male patients over 60, the ones who saw real changes, not in theory, but in how they felt, moved, and connected. It starts the moment you wake up. No distractions. No decisions. Just a rhythm. Step 1, head to the kitchen and take 1 teaspoon of extra virgin, cold-pressed olive oil. Make sure it's high in polyphenol, dark in color, and stored in a glass bottle. Take it on an empty stomach, before coffee, before breakfast, before anything else. Step 2, add a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of black pepper. This isn't just for taste, it helps activate your liver, improve nutrient absorption, and amplify circulation effects. Step 3, do 2 to 3 minutes of 4-6 breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2, exhale for 6. This calms your system, opens your vessels, and primes your body to receive the day. Step 4, stand tall, hands on hips, feet shoulder-width apart. The power stance. Hold for 1 minute while breathing deeply. It may feel silly at first, but it helps rebalance your hormones and quiet your nerves. Step 5, take a 10-minute walk outside. Doesn't need to be fast. Doesn't need to be far. Just move. Let the sun hit your skin. Let your blood flow without effort or pressure. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just 5 simple actions. All in under 15 minutes. No gym. No prescriptions. No gimmicks. Just a message to your body, wake up. Let's live. Why does this work? Because each piece speaks the body's natural language. The oil restores the endothelium. The lemon and pepper boost liver response. The breathing calms cortisol and encourages flow. The stance reminds you of your strength. The walk brings oxygen, light, and rhythm back to your system. It's not just about function, it's about wholeness. You can do this. Even if you're tired. Even if you're skeptical. Even if you've failed before. Because small, steady steps add up. You're not too old. You're not behind. You just need a path that respects where you are and helps you move forward. Stick with me, I want you to try this. Because in the next part, we go even deeper. Not just into what you do, but how this changes who you are. You'll want to hear the next part. Trust me. Now you know the truth. This isn't just a quick fix or another internet myth. It's real medicine, rooted in how your body works and what it needs to thrive after 60. A simple teaspoon of the right oil. A breath to calm your system. A stance to claim your strength. A walk to move the blood your heart still wants to send. These are not tricks. These are tools. Tools to help you feel alive again. But if you ignore it, if you keep pushing through cold mornings, foggy thoughts, and quiet shame, then yes, things may stay the same. Or slowly, silently, get worse. And I don't want that for you. Because I've seen what happens when men believe it's too late. They shut down. They give up. They disappear from their own lives. You don't have to go that way. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not less of a man because you need help. The truth is, real strength is knowing when to try again. And if you've watched this far, that means something inside you still wants to rise. So let it. If this spoke to you, if it hit something real, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Don't stay silent, join the conversation. And if you want more truth like this, practical, real advice from a doctor who sees men like you every day, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next step. Because I promise, I'm not done helping you yet. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. That tells me you're serious. That you still believe there's something worth fighting for. I believe that too. And I believe in you. Stay with me, because more truth is coming your way. And it might just be the chapter that brings you back to life.